This week was interesting. But before we start, I just want to ask you, have you ever heard of the doorway effect? You ever heard of the doorway effect? Yeah, high schoolers were like, yeah, you talked about it on Wednesday, Jake. But middle schoolers, have you ever heard of the doorway effect? No? No? What is, okay, Alex, you heard of it? What is it? Haha. Oh, wait, you were here on Wednesday. Oh, man, that ruins everything. You can't do that anymore. All right. Well, the doorway effect. Here's what the doorway effect is. So you probably didn't realize it had a name. But I remember like being in my room one time, and I was cleaning my room because it was super dirty. And you're looking at me, you're like, I don't relate to that. I know you do, because I was roommates with some of you at camp, and that room was absolutely disgusting. Nasty. Like, I thought high school just smells. Middle school is just disgusting. So you can relate. But I remember, so like picture yourself like looking under your bed, you're like cleaning under your bed because you never do that, and you find this like sandwich that your mom made you, like from like 2 weeks ago. And I mean, like, it's nasty. You just didn't want to eat it. You didn't feel like eating it. You'd already had ice cream that she didn't know about. So you just had the sandwich. It was under your bed, and it was gross, like mold on it. So you're like, okay, I need to throw this away. I need to clean off this plate. So you get up, you walk out, you walk through the doorway of your bedroom, and then you walk into the kitchen. And you get in the kitchen, and you're like, wait, what was I doing? What? I don't remember what I was doing. So you turn around, you go back to your room, and then you look down at the plate, and you're like, oh, that's what I was doing. That's called the doorway effect. So when you walk into another room, like, you forget what you were doing. Does that make sense? Cool. That is the doorway effect. So I ask you if you've heard about the doorway effect for two reasons. One we'll figure out in a little bit, but the first one is that, well, this week's I am statement is a little strange. I was going through it, and I just really was struggling with it, really, like a lot. But we've been going through these I am statements of Jesus in John because we've been trying to understand who we are following when we say we follow Jesus, right? So we're trying to find him just like we're trying to find the solution X in the equation that is life itself. Who said find X today in Sunday school? Yep, you're my favorite. I can't say that, but I can because she's not even paying attention for her to hear it. That's okay. Okay, but Jesus is known for his parables, right? And his stories. Because honestly, it's one of the best ways to communicate something. And he does that this week, except he says two things this time. He says, I am the gate, and I am the shepherd. So don't worry if you're a little confused, because I was too. I had to call Shane like 3 times. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to preach about. Like, I don't understand this at all. So, but we're gonna study the Bible together, and do you think we can figure it out together? Does that sound like a plan? Yeah? Cool, I can't hear you at all. Yes? Yes? Does it sound like a plan? Yes! Wow. I'm turning into your grandma? Maybe. Yeah. I just couldn't hear you. You gotta yell louder. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we're gonna turn, and by turn I mean look at the screens, to John chapter 10, verses 1 through 5, all right? So I'm going to wait. That screen's not on, so I'm going to read this right here. It says, let me set this before you as plainly as I can. If a person climbs over or through the fence of a sheep pen, instead of going through the gate, you know he's up to no good, a sheep rustler. The shepherd walks right up to the gate. The gatekeeper opens the gate to him, and the sheep recognize his voice. He calls his own sheep by name, and he leads them out. When he gets them all out, he leads them, and they follow because they are familiar with his voice. They won't follow a stranger's voice, but will scatter because they aren't used to the sound of it. So who can tell me what that means? Alex? You go to the voice that's more familiar? Yeah, that's solid. Abigail, what do you raised your hand? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I read that and I was super confused. I didn't understand it at all. But then I got to verse 6 and I felt a little comfort. It actually says, Jesus told this simple story, but they had no idea what he was talking about. So I was like, okay, cool. It's not just me. Like everyone is not understanding it. So Jesus, he said, let me try again. I'm going to be a little bit more clear. So he says, I'll be explicit then. I am the gate for the sheep. All those others are up to no good. Sheep stealers, every one of them. But the sheep didn't listen to them. He says, I am the gate. Anyone who goes through me will be cared for, will freely go in and out and find pasture. A thief is only there to steal and kill and destroy. I came so that they can have real and eternal life, more and better life than they have ever dreamed of. So Jesus says, I am the gate for the sheep. So does that mean we are sheep? Is that what that means? I don't know. I feel like I've been talking about a lot of farm animals. I preached about demon piggies, and now I'm talking about how we're sheep. But think about it. We're kind of a lot like sheep. I mean, most of us don't just go around like making sheep noises. I don't even know what a sheep noise is. Like, bah, yeah. Most of us don't do that. If you do, I mean, whatever. I guess that's fine. But I feel like sheep, we're subconsciously always looking for someone to lead us. I've actually never taken care of a sheep, or whatever the plural of sheep is. I've never taken care of sheep because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a city boy, and farm animals scare me. They freak me out. I don't like them. But from my intensive research on the internet, I found that sheep are pretty dumb. They kind of just go around wherever they really want to. They don't really know what they're doing or what they're following, so they need someone to lead them. Otherwise, they're just aimlessly wandering around doing nothing. So we, like these sheep, need a leader. So Jesus says, hey, look at me. I'm the gate for you to find that leader. Jesus knows that, and that's why he says, I am the gate. I am the door for the pasture that is the relationship with me. But remember, he says, let me say it like this, explicitly, which literally means in a clear and detailed manner, leaving no room for confusion or doubt. He says, I am the gate for the sheep. I am the way for the sheep to enter into the pasture. He says, I am the way for you to get into that place where you can have a relationship with my dad, with God the Father. He says, you have to go through me to get in. There's no other way. In every possible outcome, I am the only way for you to get from here to there. Not through the other doors of other religions or other belief systems. He says, you have to go through me to get to the pasture. Me and you, we're the sheep. Can't earn our way into the pasture. He is our door to salvation, to having a relationship with God. So you remember the doorway effect we talked about a couple seconds ago, right? I think that some of us, we've walked through the gate, or the doorway that is Jesus. We knew who we were, that we needed to be clean, so we got up and we walked through the door. We accepted Jesus into our lives. But then we got to the other side of the door and we forgot what we were doing. I think that we forgot the doorway we had to go through because of the doorway effect. I think that we just forgot. We don't remember that we already walked through the door. And that's why Jesus says, not only am I the gate, but I am the good shepherd. So in verses 14 through 18 in the same chapter, Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. I know my own sheep, and my own sheep know me. In the same way, the Father knows me, and I know the Father. I put the sheep before myself, sacrificing myself if necessary. You need to know that I have other sheep in addition to those in this pen. I need to gather them and bring them too, because they'll also recognize my voice. Then it will be one flock, one shepherd. This is why the Father loves me, because I freely lay down my life. And so I am free to take it up again. No one takes it from me. I lay it down of my own free will. I have the right to lay it down. And I also have the right to take it up again. I receive this authority personally from my Father. He says, not only am I going to let you in through me, but I will lead you once you're in. He says, I won't let you forget. I know my sheep, and I know them by name, and I love them. So much so that I would die for them. So I need a couple of volunteers. I want three people. Jeremiah, Abigail, Alexander. Yep, that's enough. And then Shane, I know you're doing slides, but I want you to come up here. One of our high school students, I want Dylan, come up here, bro. All right, so middle schoolers, I want you to come. I wish this stage. All right, middle schoolers, come where Shane is at, right here. This is right here, come right here. Middle schoolers right here. And then I want you to get on the ground like all fours and your sheep, so you gotta go like, bah, bah. You gotta make sheep noises, okay? Okay, Shane, you're gonna be over here, right? Yep, okay, so you're gonna stand right here. And act like you have like a, wait. Okay, this is your staff. Got it? Oh, how did that get there already? Okay, that's your staff, all right? Shane, I need you to be a wolf, okay? So I need you to get down on all fours. I know you're a dad and you're old now, but it's fine. And I need you to make wolf noises, like you gotta be like snarling. No, like wolf noises, like, and then like howls and stuff, right? You should have brought Drifter. That would have been way cooler and way better. But he's way sweeter. He's not much of a wolf. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Shepherd, man, I need you to face that way. Yeah, don't attack your sheep. They're good sheep, man. Okay. All right. So you can just stay where you're at right now. Shane, you got to be on all fours, dude. All right. So do you want to know the coolest part about this passage? So if you don't know, if you haven't figured this out, shepherds back then were super poor. I mean, super poor. They didn't make any money. You can tell by his clothes, right? Like, he's not super poor. I'm just kidding. But they didn't make any money. So they were the low of the low. So these pastures, they were fenced. They had fences, but I mean, like, there's probably like a couple sticks and some ropes. And most of the time, like 9 times out of 10, there was no actual physical gate. So what do you think that the shepherd did? Because there was no physical gate. What do you think he did? Sheep can't answer. Sheep can't answer. What do you think? What do you think, Cadence? What do you think that the shepherd did? It's funny. It is funny.
What do you think the shepherd did?
He killed the people, okay. Maybe. The good shepherd. Okay. So this is, I'm going to make this as the fence. This is the other fence. Now it's become this, no longer your staff, and this is the fence. Okay, so the shepherd, you can just do this as I'm saying it. He laid down in the middle of the fences. So it's nighttime. It's nighttime before going to sleep. He laid down. It's fun. It is fun.
So it's nighttime?
Yes, all right.
Okay, it's nighttime.
So he laid down in the middle of the fences, blocking the entrance, right? So this wolf, Shane, could not get in. I don't know how to speak grammar. But his entire position right here is he's protecting these sheep. Very defensive, right? He looks like he's ready to block some scary things.
Block some trains.
All right. Good job. That was a way better one. All right, y'all can go sit down. Good job. Perfect. All right. Well, why there? That was super good. Thank you for being shepherds and sheep and wolves. Ow! All right. So this is pretty serious for a second. So I want you to think about this. Let's focus in real quick, all right, and then we'll be done. Hey, Cadence, let's focus in right here. Come on, Lindsay, set a good example. Come on. Okay. So this shepherd, he would lay down so that the wolves could not get in. That's the correct grammar. But he would lay there to protect these sheep. So do you remember what Jesus said earlier about the sheep stealing? Do you remember? He says, a thief is only there to kill and destroy. So Shane, our wolf, represents Satan. He's trying to come and steal you away. He's trying to hurt you. He's trying to kill and destroy you. He doesn't want you to be happy. He doesn't want you to have a relationship with God. So he's trying to come and get you and hurt you. But in comes Jesus, the Good Shepherd. Jesus says, this is why the Father loves me, because I freely laid down my own life. Jesus came in, and he laid down his life for us. He knew what he was doing. He wanted to protect the sheep. He came, and he died for us. There was a wolf out there that wanted to kill and destroy us all, but Jesus gave us the chance by laying himself out for us and dying for us so that we could have a relationship with God. He was the only way for this to happen, by giving his life for ours. He said, I came so they can have real and eternal life, more and better life than they've ever dreamed of. Jesus has given us the opportunity to have life with God, to have a relationship with him, because he was both the shepherd and the door to protect his sheep. Right, Audra? Right? But Jake, you might be saying, Jake, I walked through the door that is Jesus. I accepted Jesus into my life, and well, my life kind of still sucks. I try and live a good life and represent Jesus like the Bible tells me to. And my friends, they're still mean to me at school. I thought they were my friends, but they don't treat me like they're my friends. I just can't get my grades up, Jake. I've been trying really hard. I really want to do good in English. I just can't understand it. I don't know what to do. Jake, my parents won't stop fighting. They won't stop fighting at all. And I don't know what to do. I think they might get a divorce. Friends, you can't fall into the doorway effect. Nowhere in the passage does it say that in the pasture things are just going to be perfect, that things won't go wrong. And that's why even in the pasture, we need a shepherd to lead us. He says, I want you to remember that he hasn't left you. He is still here. You feel so lost in all these situations that you're going through, like you've forgotten that he's even there. And you feel all alone. Friends, I want to promise you that he is still there. If we read the Bible, it tells us that Jesus defines who we are in God's eyes. And it says that we are his children, that we are his sons and his daughters, that we are his sheep. He says, my sheep, they'll recognize my voice. But do you know what that implies? It implies that we have to be listening. We have to be listening for the shepherd's voice, the one who knows us by name, the one who wants to give us real and eternal life, more and better life than we've ever dreamed of. And he does that by laying himself down and dying for us. And why is that important? Because there are other voices out there, other voices that will tell us what we should see. It speaks of a sheep stealer, a thief who is only there to kill and destroy. I want you to remember that there is an enemy out there that is trying to hurt you. I want you to remember that you walked through the door And if you forget that you walked through the door, what Jesus did for you, I want you to look back and see him in the passageway, in the entrance, for the sheep to get in, and see him hung on a cross for you. Dear Lord, I just thank you for bringing the students here. I just thank you for letting us jump into John chapter 10 and just learning about how Jesus is the gate, good shepherd. I just pray that these students, as they're going through their lives, when they're looking for the right answer, when things are going wrong, that they know that the way is through you. And that when we are led by you, our lives can make so much more sense. Lord, I just thank you so much for bringing these students here, and the fact that we get to hang out with them every Sunday night. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. All right.